retreating United Nations forces guard the Imjim River as the onrushing hordes of Reds mass for the capture of Seoul. Despite superior firepower and the last word in weapons, they are forced to give ground before an avalanche of manpower sweeping down below the 38th parallel. The pressure on Seoul increases as the Allies conduct an orderly withdrawal, taking with them the major portion of their arms and equipment. Faced with a force estimated up to 500,000, Seoul is put to the torch and evacuated as President Syngman Rhee's government fled to Busan on the southeast coast. And for the third time during the conflict, pathetic bands of refugees in the bitter cold flee from the Reds with the innocent pawns seeking safety they know not where. But among them are North Koreans infiltrating the UN lines, and no chances are taken with concealed weapons. Here is the backwash of a war for which world statesmen are desperately seeking a solution. What began as police action against aggression now threatens world peace as Red China unleashes the torrent of her manpower. United Nations troops conduct an orderly withdrawal down the Korean peninsula. Fighting every step of the way, they retain landing fields and facilities until the very last minute. With airlifts operating full blast, transports sustain inevitable casualties. But the job of supplying the GI, fighting heroic rearguard actions, goes on. UN forces are fending off an attempted encircling move by 3 armies of Chinese Reds, and field officers in command are deploying their troops in a thin line across to prevent the frantic flanking attacks of the Reds. 5 minutes before this GI was hit during a counterattack against an enemy that outnumbers the Allies 4-1. Previously demolished bridges are repaired by engineers to permit the evacuation of military vehicles. It is the grimmest kind of warfare, with the enemy lurking on every side. Here are some of the casualties, which among Americans alone have passed the 40,000 mark, with 6,700 dead and 27,000 wounded. Another 6,100 are missing in action. Wounded often have been evacuated in temperatures of 30 below zero. A bright spot in the campaign are the Sabre jets, which rule the skies. As they cruise over Allied forces on the hunt for enemy formations to strafe, they suddenly get a Russian-built MiG fighter in their sights. And fast as the Red plane is, it can't escape a burst which has deadly effect. Fatally hit, the Red plane starts to smoke and goes into its final dive. Once again, the Sabres have proven more than a match for the Red jets. Chalk up another for the Sabres, with no losses of their own. Enemy equipment goes up in smoke as the relentless UN Air Force blasts supply lines with firebombs, rockets, and machine guns. They have knocked out thousands of Red vehicles and tanks. Countless enemy troop concentrations have been broken up, and thousands have been mowed down in air attacks. We are in Korea to stay, and UN flyers are there to prove it.